Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of What's Poppin' Podcast, episode 17. Good to have you back, Tim. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing great. It's really warm in this room, but other than that, I'm doing pretty good. I'm just trying to control where my arms go because I don't want you guys to see anything gross. But yeah, other than that, dude, I'm pretty stoked. I'm ready for this episode.
Nice. Which actually, we just got done recording the review for Star Wars Clone Wars, seasons 1 through 7 as an entire series. So if you guys would like to, please go give that a watch or listen on Spotify. That'd be great. We put in a lot of effort.
Yes, we did.
To either one, watching it, or two, putting in our deep thoughts on how we felt.
Yes.
While
trying to also kind of keep it in a viewable length, because I mean that's 7 seasons of a show we reviewed in like an hour and change. So please check it out. I think it's worth a watch. Yeah,
I think you guys will really enjoy it, especially because you get 2 points of views.
Yes.
One being, Tim's, where he's been watching the series since the very beginning, and me, where I definitely watched the whole entire series last night within a few hours, which is nuts. But yeah, if you're a newcomer like myself, or an OG like Tim, you guys should definitely give it a watch or a listen. Yes. But other than that, guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in again. We do have quite a bit of news today.
Yes, we do.
Nothing super crazy like last time, but I definitely want to acknowledge the fact that I know we've been away from YouTube for about like 2 or 3 episodes. If you guys would like to watch the previous episodes, we did upload those straight audio only over to Spotify. Because I don't even know if a lot of you guys know that we're on Spotify just yet, but if you are unaware, please go and follow us over on Spotify.
All links will be down below as well.
Yep. They'll be there for you guys to click it, and be sure to just follow us, share, let other people know that we're on Spotify as well. But we are going to continue from here on out to do the YouTube and the Spotify both upload, audio only and also video form, because I know there's some of you guys that actually missed the video form. Yeah. So we'll have it up there for you guys as well. But yeah, without further ado, I definitely want to get into it here. I'll go ahead and kick it off here for a couple, and then I'll send it over to you, Tim, and then we'll just deep dive into it. First reported news that I have here is the Pirates of the Caribbean reboot is moving forward with Disney, reportedly eyeing Karen Gillan to lead. You know who Karen Gillan is?
I recognized her face, but I can't remember where from. I know it's like a very popular actress.
Yes, so she is from Jumanji, and
yes,
she's also the Guardians of the Galaxy. She played
Nebula.
Yep. There you go. And so we would probably get a female lead pirate, which I'm actually all up for, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm more. I don't know if I like the word reboot personally, because I love Captain Jack Sparrow from at least Pirates 1, 2, and 3. That's like a really, really big love of mine.
They could just do like a soft reboot where they just take the point of view of a different pirate and they go off on different adventures without actually tarnishing any of the history of Jack Sparrows and all the other stuff going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd be very curious to see how tied in, if they tie it in to that series that Johnny Depp did. But I know that as far as like a female pirate lead, 100%, I'd like to see it. I think it'd be cool. I know Elizabeth Swann from those movies was kind of almost a pirate lead of her own. They're at number 3 for sure.
Yeah, you're right.
So it works for sure, especially with the fun and adventurous tone. Because a lot of what makes Pirates of the Caribbean is the fun mixed with the really kind of crazy action set pieces that goes on. So I enjoy watching a Pirates movie. I really do. The last 2 didn't really do it for me too much, but I still find them kind of fun.
I definitely, the original, the first 3 were great. I thought the first 3 as like their own are perfectly fine. Anything after that gets a little weird for me. It is just kind of like whatever's. But I don't know how I feel if it should be a reboot. Like, I wouldn't mind if it's like just like it's just not necessarily like 6, but just kind of a thing where it's just they kind of go off as in like it's still in the overall world of Pirates of the Caribbean,
like a spinoff or its own like only series, like its own direction.
yeah, it's going off
Yeah.
on its own thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she's the lead pirate, and she just makes it her own. Like she's not doing like another interpretation of like a female version of Jack Sparrow. She's like shrug all the time or anything like that.
I would hate. I would really hate that.
That would be very annoying. I just would like to see her as just like a badass pirate, because honestly, I think Cara Gillan is a great actress, and not only she shows that she's a badass dude. So yeah, I think that would work definitely if they can do something like that. So I'm totally all up for it, man. Do you think you're up for this?
For sure. Did they say like a date or anything, or they just say it's going to be happening?
It's just that she's reportedly being eyed.
Okay.
So, but
yeah, I'm down.
I'm assuming eyeing means like it's almost like, you know, it hasn't been yet reported that yes, she's going to be the star, because that's very specific. You know, the way this is being reported is kind of very specific and kind of random. But I'm gonna be surprised, because I mean, look what they're doing with like National Treasure and all these other IPs that they have. So yeah, definitely good stuff. So I got another topic here. Neve Campbell has confirmed that she is in talks with directors Matt Bettinelli and Olphin, and Tyler Gillett to reprise her role as Sydney Prescott in Scream 5. So the lead actress in the original Scream to come back in Scream 5 here. So the directors, Matt Bettinelli and Tyler Gillett, they're better known for Knives Out.
Okay.
Which I have never seen, but I've heard it was phenomenal.
I heard it was really fun. I heard it was actually like a really fun, entertaining movie. I was with Ryan Johnson, which if I looked at a Star Wars film, I wouldn't have picked it up being a good movie. But from what I heard, he does a good one here.
Anything else that's not Star Wars. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I heard that was a good movie too. So that's, yeah, I'm down for it if they're behind it, for sure.
Yeah, no, I think this is pretty cool as long as they can get her back. I feel like she's like the original three, which is Sydney Prescott and the other two actors.
I'm not gonna know their name for sure.
Yeah, I think this is great. Just as long as they don't like, I feel like this is way too far to kill her off. You know what I mean? Her character, like she's already in 5, so I don't know where they're gonna go in terms of like story direction. That is all. But it does excite me that these two directors are, you know, in talks to do Scream 5 because of all the hype that I've been hearing for Knives Out, which I actually probably, while I'm stuck in quarantine, I probably should watch it now.
Yeah, for sure.
Kind of get an idea, because I've noticed that this news here has been getting kind of it's been getting a lot of hype because of them two, and it's exciting people, because I think if anybody else was directing this movie and they announced that Scream 5 is coming, I think it probably just wouldn't be that big of a deal. But the fact that the two are, you know, directing it is kind of like supposedly getting it some more traction. So it's interesting.
I might check that out too. Yeah, that'd be interesting.
So that'd be something to probably check out and probably maybe get an idea of what a Scream 5 could possibly look like in terms of its own or whatever. So yeah.
I wonder, do you think with all this news about horror series kind of coming back, almost like they're being resurrected to be spooky if I want, do you think we're in a bit of like a horror renaissance? Of like taking these classic IPs and refurbishing, dusting them off the shelf of like, hey, check out this, we're going to do it good, and kind of like really trying to really kick off new stories from those original IPs.
I think it's great, honestly, man. I'm happy with that, because I feel like there's a lot of potential. They just kind of have to like modernize it, because some of these were like
they call on the landline for Scream.
Like, and that just doesn't fly in the generation that we're in right now. So make it fun to watch for this generation, or just like, you know, this during this time. I guess like they just have to find a way to adapt with all the other scary movies, I guess, or make them again. because these characters and these stories are unique. Like, Pinhead
cool.
being Hellraiser, like you don't really see that. Same thing with Scream 5, like Ghostface. Like
it almost seemed like horror movies for a good while were just kind of rinse and repeat. Oh, there's a spooky ghost that possesses people for years.
No, for a great while, man. It was like that. And it was hard to find some good scary movies, to be honest with you. But you can find them. You can definitely find them. There's quite a few out there that don't get enough praise, or that haven't gotten enough traction. But like, I think this is great. I'm happy with this. We'll see, where this goes in terms of news. I don't know if other people are going to come back and reprise their roles as well, or what they're thinking in terms of story, or so this is still an early talk, so we'll definitely keep reporting more news on Scream 5 here.
Okay.
So I got some Marvel related news here. WandaVision has already completed filming with visual effects on the series possibly nearing completion.
Yeah, I actually think I knew this from talking to that inside source of mine who worked on it, the lighting specialist. That they had been finished filming, but the way he described it way back when, and I'll say it again, is that it's kind of the way the show works is very, very kind of mind-bendy cool. It's kind of, I don't remember how exactly he phrased it. It's been a while since I read the text, but basically he thought it was a really cool way that the show would work. Which if they're taking this long of a time for visual effects, because it has been a little bit for visual effects, then yeah. I expect to be kind of wowed. I mean, we've been waiting a while for this now. So I have high expectations, which I don't know if it's a good or bad thing for this show, but my expectations are set pretty high for this.
I don't know about expectations for me, but I'm excited. That's for sure. I'm excited for all the Marvel related, shows that are going to be on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Just because like I want to know where a lot of these characters or stories are going to go after Endgame,
Oh yeah.
Because we get to finally catch up with what the heck were they doing after that point. So I think WandaVision is definitely one of those that I'm like, ooh, I'm curious to know what's this going to be about, you know? Especially by the screenshots without context, it's
very weird looking.
It's a very weird looking show because it looks like Leave It to Beaver type style, and or like, what's going on here? This doesn't look like a Marvel show.
Yeah, it looks like a 50s sitcom. For sure. No, it's it's fun to look forward to these things because last we saw Vision in Endgame, or not even Endgame, in Infinity War, he had his skull punched in. I mean,
that's another plot point where we're curious to know, like, how does he come back, or what is this? Is this just all a flashback? Is Wanda like, she just,
is it the same Vision? Like, who knows?
It's very interesting. So curious to know where they're going to go with the series, but this is good news though, man. The fact that they're done, completed filming, and possibly the visual effects almost nearing completion. Hopefully we can get an announcement, and a trailer would be nice, because the trailer that we got during the Super Bowl special, I believe that was the last one. It
was like 20 seconds.
Yeah, like 20 seconds. And they showed clips from like all the shows.
Yeah, 3 or 4.
Only gave us like 2 or 3 seconds of WandaVision. So I'm hopefully we can get something longer than that and kind of give us an idea of what the story's going to be about or where it's going to go.
Yeah.
So yeah,
for sure.
I'm super excited about it. It's super cool. I got some HBO Max related news, sir.
Okay.
I know you've been excited about HBO Max, right?
I actually am, yeah. I'm looking for, the more we've heard about HBO Max, the more I'm like, my wallet's not going to be happy, but I will be. It
comes out later this month too.
Yep.
I believe 27th or something like that. And they just announced something recently.
Okay.
And it looks like HBO Max and Crunchyroll.
Ooh, wow.
For anime lineup, which I think is fucking awesome.
Big.
It's big. So that's
crazy.
So basically what I have here, a little article that explains that when the platform launches, HBO Max subscribers will have access to 17 beloved and celebrated anime titles, including Full Metal Alchemist, like Keep Your Hands Off Eizouken, and just like different kinds of, a plethora of different kinds of animes. In addition to HBO Max's subscribers can watch a collection of series from Crunchyroll's catalog of 1,000 titles. Whoa. And it's including all the other different titles. And just to let people know, like Kill la Kill and all these other ones, Hunter x Hunter. And so I think that's huge, man, for HBO Max. That's the thing to add into there.
I mean, HBO Max was already tempting as far as value for what you're going to be getting. That's insane. That's a lot of content that they're adding that I'm sure isn't fully like, hey, it's Crunchyroll on HBO Max, but it's more so like, hey, here's a good, dinner plate sample of what we have to offer. That I imagine will probably rotate if eventually down the line, it'll probably rotate what shows are available. As like a sampler, but that's really cool,
right? I think that's really nice of them to actually do that, because that, like I said, a lot of people that are going to own HBO Max, maybe some people have never even watched an anime their entire life, and this is probably like if they see it on there, because I mean, granted, I've watched things on like Netflix or something that just by the looks of it and also the description, if I've never seen it, I'll read it, I'll look at it. If it looks really cool, I might give it a watch,
Just like a real quick click.
So some people might do the same with some of these other animes that they're unheard of, because a lot of people don't even know what Crunchyroll is. I mean, unless you're like, an internet,
It sounds like food, to be honest.
Like me, so like people would be like, what's Crunchyroll? So this is nice that they would do that. Bring in some more attention to Crunchyroll as well. So it's a win for both of them, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, that's a genius partnership, I think.
Yeah, so I think that they're doing a good job, especially with the 17 titles that they're launching with are pretty good. I would say so, because I've watched a couple of these. But yeah, so good on them. I got two more here, and then I'm going to toss it over to you, Tim.
Okay.
So one of them is kind of cool. I just thought I really wanted to talk about this because I've been noticing some actors from famous movies such as Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter basically doing like a read-along. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yes, I did.
Like Lord of the Rings actor Andy Serkis is currently reading all of the Hobbits in one marathon sitting for charity, which I think is fucking awesome, dude.
Dude, that's amazing.
Yeah, same thing with Daniel Radcliffe. I think he did like the first chapter or something like that of the first Harry Potter.
Yep.
So like I think this is really nice of them to do, especially Andy Serkis for charity, reading all of them, all the Hobbits in one marathon sitting.
Well, what'd be fun with that too is because he voices Gollum, he plays Gollum in the Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings. He'll read Gollum's lines. It's gonna be really cool.
That's a good point, dude. I didn't really think about that. Yeah, you're right on that. So he can definitely just do the voice acting for that. Yeah, it's just something I definitely wanted to, bring up because I thought it was really honorable and cool for them to do that while people are stuck here during this quarantine,
I agree.
And this is a win for them, man. I'm very happy that they did this, and it's put a smile on my face. So yeah, I definitely want to go back and watch some of the stuff that they do the read-alongs to, especially the Andy Serkis one, because now you got me very intrigued for them doing the voice of Gollum. So
yeah, that would be fun. I think it'd be cool.
Yeah. So I have some Sony related news here. They made an announcement on the 8th of this month, which was Friday of last week. They teased an image saying 2022, and it has the Spiderverse logo.
Ooh.
So,
oh boy.
Everyone's just making the assumption that this is Spider-Verse 2. Well, they hashtag Spider-Verse, and the actual release date, they actually put up a release date, which is October 7th, 2022. So, yeah, man, we finally get an actual date on that, and I think is pretty exciting, right?
Yeah,
did you enjoy Spider-Verse?
Yeah, we didn't get a chance to talk about it on the podcast before, I don't think, and man, that was a good movie.
No, I think probably hands down, and like if we're gonna be completely honest here, and even me being like a fanboy towards the Tobey Maguire movies, Spider-Verse is the best Spider-Man movie of all time. I think out of all, like I think it's perfectly done.
Yeah.
Story, characters,
art style was wildly good.
Amazing, dude. But I can see it being kind of nauseous for some people because of the whole like color palettes that kind of makes it look like if you needed 3D glasses, you know, and it has that little weird effect to it.
I think you get used to it after a while. I think for anyone who's like really not expecting it, it might throw them off. But if someone was to tell them before him, hey, this has like a weird kind of interesting like frame rate thing, then they'd be like, okay, hold on a second, and then they can kind of adjust to it, as well as like you were saying, the color palette kind of behind and around characters and moments and stuff. So I thought that's one of those movies that we missed out on that I personally would have given a golden bucket. I don't know about you.
No, yeah, absolutely. I would definitely give this one a 5 out of 5 because I believe that this is the best Spider-Man movie of all time.
It's fantastic.
I'm not even going to argue that. I believe it, you know? And it also gets me a little excited because recently we found out that this is all in the topic of Spider-Verse, was that apparently there was a scene that featured Tobey Maguire, Tom Holland, and Andrew Garfield talking to Spider-Pig that was never shot and would just never follow through because I think Marvel felt, I don't know if it was Marvel or Disney or someone felt that it was too soon. And I believe that too. Would I been okay with it? Absolutely. And I hope we eventually get that because I wouldn't mind if we even get the animated version of them. If we don't really get the live action, that's totally fine. I feel like that's asking too much. Me personally, I think it's asking too much. I really do think it's asking too much to get them three like in a Spider-Man universe, you know, multiverse like movie together.
Yeah.
But get them in a scene like that would just make
I'm gonna be the bold one and ask for the moon. Okay, give me it all. I want it all now.
I don't want to ask for too much here, man. Of course, the live action adaptation of them three and maybe Miles Morales live action version.
Give me it.
Amazing. But I think it'd be nice to get them three in the Spider-Verse because it makes sense.
For sure.
You know? It would definitely make sense to have them in there, even if it's just like a small cameo. Just the fact that we get them three in one room is like pretty nuts, dude. So
I like it.
Yeah,
dude.
I'm excited. October 7th, 2022. Can't come any sooner. But, hopefully they got a good story lined up and they introduce more characters and villains. And yeah, I'm excited, man. I can't wait. So let me go ahead and toss it over to you. I have four more after that. And let's go ahead and continue the roll, man.
Alrighty. Well, my next piece of news is a bit of a two-parter and actually has something to do with an actor that appeared into the Spider-Verse movie as Spider-Man Noir. He voiced him. It's Nicolas Cage himself. And there has been a couple announcements with the National Treasure franchise that are kind of fascinating. So the first one that came up is Jerry Bruckheimer has confirmed that a third National Treasure film is in active development at Disney, with the screenplay currently being written. I think previously talked about the rumor of it, but it hasn't been like confirmed. This is a confirmation saying that is happening. We are getting a third National Treasure film. That's awesome, because a long-term fan here, I want to know what's on that presidential page that he had to look at, and the second one that we never got a resolution for. If they don't bring that up in the third one, I'm going to be salty.
Where's we need closure, right?
Yeah, we need closure on that. And then the other piece is a National Treasure TV series is in development at Disney Plus, which this appears to be a separate announcement.
You think it's going to be like a spinoff?
Possibly. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to star Nicolas Cage. I don't know if it's going to do with what. It could be a whole new...
I feel like maybe it could be potentially a spinoff of a character or someone that is going to be on that Disney Plus. Because I don't see Nicolas Cage committing to to a TV series or a series like that.
Yeah, it could be Riley, the character Riley. He was like the techie nerd.
Yeah.
That would be really fun. Just
I
to
think
see
that'd
him.
be pretty cool. You know, if he did his own thing.
Or it could be other Gates from like history. Other people from the Gates family throughout history doing.
Oh yeah, that's
different things.
Way of doing it. Yeah, you're right.
So I think there's a lot of potential with it, man. I like it. I don't know.
I don't necessarily see Nicolas Cage signing up for a series. No, I feel like he's definitely a movie guy now, and he's probably going to stick with that. So I don't see him signing on to something like that, especially long term. Because I would assume that if it's successful, it's going to be long term. So, but then again, who knows? Anything is possible. So I don't know. I'm not Nicolas Cage, but I don't see it personally. I don't see that happening. But who knows?
Yeah, I mean. I think Nicolas Cage right now is where he wants to be, where he's playing these kind of roles that are just kind of absurd or weird or like colorful horror movies or the upcoming Tiger King series. Like he's taking things that are fun for him, and I think that a series would be a bit more like work for him than a fun adventure. Ironically, but yeah. So I'm excited for it. I'm looking forward to it. But moving on, I'm going to be talking about some Star Wars, so buckle up because I got lots of Star Wars news.
Baby. Let's go!
So first up is from Disney CEO Bob Chapek. He has said that there will be no delay, absolutely no delay on The Mandalorian Season 2, which is just a round of applause. Thank you very much, good sir. Can't wait.
To release in October. Sometime in October.
This year. On Disney Plus. This is the way, 100%. Let's do this. I'm looking forward to it. And then there's more news about Season 2, which is Dave Filoni has confirmed that he will only be directing one episode of The Mandalorian Season 2. That doesn't mean he's not being involved with the rest of it. That's just him in the director's chair. So it's not like he's getting reduced. Not really. He's still behind it. It's just he's now, I'm only doing one directing. So
yeah, right.
I don't know. Like, do you think? I think that the variety of directors benefited Season 1.
Yeah, it did, because we got to see different takes of and different taste of these directors, the way they shoot things and the way they want to tell the story. So I think it's great, man. Especially the people that they have signed up for this season. I can't wait, dude. I really can't wait. I think it's awesome, and I like the fact that Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are willing to give these directors like a chance to, maybe shine in the Star Wars universe.
For sure, man.
Actually, it could lead them if the fans react to it positively, to the point where it's causing an uproar on social media, like we did with Taika Waititi. That gave him his own movie, dude. I don't want to say it was us responsible for that, because it could have just been, him, whatever. And Disney really enjoyed that.
Right.
But I remember when that episode came out, the final episode, which he directed, finally came out, people were going nuts for it, dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're already hashtagging for Taika to get his own Star Wars film, and I'm totally on board with that. So that's what I mean, is that it's really cool that they're giving these directors a chance and could potentially maybe be able to get a chance to direct their own series or a movie. So
absolutely, man. I think this is understandable news, honestly. I mean, like, it would be weird if for some reason they were like, now Dave Filoni's directing all of it. It'd be like, why are you cutting off access for other directors? No, this is just, I think, a predictable and understandable move for Dave Filoni and the team to be like, hey, we want more talent and more perspective, because that is only working for our best interests with this. Right. So next up is something that I kind of almost feel is a bit spoilerish, but it has to do with casting.
Yeah. So guys, if you don't want to know anything casting related for The Mandalorian, we totally get it. If you want to pause it for like a few minutes or skip forward a few minutes to after we're done talking about Mandalorian, please do. Because even though it's just a casting call, it's spoiler because it's characters that we didn't even know that they were going to even appear, two, that they were alive or they were dead, or just something that you might not want to
you would rather see versus hear about on a podcast.
Catch it yourself. But so it's totally understandable if you want to skip forward a couple of minutes until after we're done talking about it. But without further ado, give them the news.
So this one's actually pretty huge. Tamura, I think is how you say his name, Tamura Morrison, who played Boba Fett, is set to play Boba Fett in The Mandalorian Season 2, which is big news because last we saw Boba Fett, as cool as a character as he is, in Return of the Jedi, he gets hit in the back by a blind Han Solo, squeals a painful cry, and is eaten by a Sarlacc.
So
he's coming back.
It is confirmed officially. I mean, it's been confirmed in like books or like comic books that he survived the Sarlacc pit, but this actually really confirms. This gives us the visual
confirmation.
Visual confirmation that he is alive, which I think most fans were very pleased about this by the casting as well, because that is Jango Fett's son, which is played by the same actor. So this is, dude, I was losing my shit when I saw this news. I'm like, I wanted to Tim.
Yeah, dude.
Scored for him to look at it. I'm like, holy shit, dude. I can't believe they confirmed this. I'm almost really upset. At one point, I kind of got a little like, oh fuck, I wish they didn't make this announcement. It was almost like the Stranger Thing.
That's
season.
Exactly what I was thinking too when I first saw it. I was like,
we're kind of like little like, why did they show that? They should have just waited till we saw that ourselves.
Can you imagine if no one knew, and then that came?
Yeah, that's
Twitter
what I'm
would
saying.
Explode. Like
the reaction of the internet when we saw that there was a baby Yoda in Mandalorian at the end of episode 1 of Mandalorian, we're just like, what the fuck? Like,
it was crazy.
Would have been, in my personal opinion, I think it would have been bigger than that, because we'd have been like, holy shit, he's alive. Like, But it's just like them confirming that he's coming back is just like, damn it. I mean, it was still exciting, but it's not as exciting as if we saw it for ourselves first. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah.
With that kind of leads into the next bit of casting news, which it's a bit of a spoiler if you just came off of Clone Wars, haven't seen Rebels yet, into this. But new cast members include Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka Tano.
Yes. Which, by the way, I think is a perfect cast.
Yeah, I think I'm excited. I'm really looking forward to that.
She's a good actress, and I think she could play that character for sure, dude.
Yes. Michael Bean, I don't know who he's going to be playing. And it
hasn't been what character he's playing it, so yeah. Just let that anonymous.
Yeah. And then
because you would keep that guy anonymous, his whatever character he's playing, but not fucking Boba Fett or Ahsoka. Like, it's just like, what? Yeah. What character is he really playing that's so important that you can't tell us? You know what I mean?
It might be huge, dude. You never know.
What's Wednesday bigger than Boba Fett?
Could be. Who knows? They could try and justify the sequel trilogy with this show. I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
Tamara Morrison, like we said, is Boba Fett, and I have a theory which I don't want to say too much of.
Before we continue, you said Bo-Katan got announced too, right?
I don't see that yet. It might be one behind. That's coming up. I'm going to talk about those here in a second. But Tamara Morrison is Boba Fett, yes. But if you remember, his father Jango Fett was the template for clones, and certain clones, by the point of Return of the Jedi and beyond, are not dead. I won't say who, but it'd be cool, just as a fan, if they were to somehow show up and then possibly meet their maker at that point or something like that, because that's a bit of a loose thread for me as a fan. I would like to be kind of, tied off or whatever. But
Yeah.
These are all huge.
With him coming back to Star Wars, him as an actor, like they can use him for so much, including Rex, just
possibly.
saying.
And then new directors for the series will reportedly include Peyton Reed, Robert Rodriguez, Carl Weathers, and Jon Favreau, which is a pretty stacked team, I think. They're all pretty talented. I think overall, the director announcements, I understand wholly. But some of the actors and character announcements, I don't know. I feel like the same with you about some of the reveals. There's only 2 more reveals real quick that I'll say before we talk about the final piece of news, which is Sabine Wren, who is a character from Rebels, a very prominent character.
I don't know. I'm not too familiar with this because she was not in Clone Wars. She's introduced in Rebels. So that gives me more reason to watch Rebels.
It's no spoiler to say she is from Mandalore. She is a Mandalorian, like genuine. So that's going to be really cool to see as a payoff for that. As well as we have an announcement that Katie Sackhoff will star as Bo-Katan in The Mandalorian Season 2, who is also a Mandalorian. And if you've been caught up with Clone Wars and you see all the way through Rebels, you know where her character is. It just makes sense. It's those 2 I like a lot, but the other ones I wish they kind of reserved a little bit.
They should have hush about that. The other 2 make more sense for them to announce and get people excited for it, like Bo-Katan and what was the other character from Rebels?
Bo-Katan and Sabine, not Satine like Obi-Wan Kenobi's love, but Sabine. I don't know why their names are so similar, but
I think those 2 characters would have made sense to just announce it like that, and the actors that are playing them. The other ones I feel like they're a little too big to make the announcement. They should have just let us see it, and it would have been a crazy fan reaction. But then again, maybe this is a strategy. Maybe they have something in their back pocket that they haven't showed or talked about or whatever. That's
gonna be a reveal.
Like with the success of Mandalorian Season 1, clearly, since they're even Bob Iger even had, or Bob, the other Bob,
Capchick.
Yeah.
Yep.
If he had, to come out and say that there is no delay, it's probably because he wants that shit out this year and he does want no delay at all. And anybody over at Disney that's working right now, I'm sure are working their butts off to make sure that this Season 2 is out and make sure that they have enough merchandise for
the merchandise,
because they were so unprepared with Season 1 and the success and that it was going to get, that it caught them off guard, dude. Because when I went to Disneyland, they barely had any merchandise that was Mandalorian related. Barely.
And I imagine that they're really also desperate to get this to be out because the box office for everyone this year has sucked. And they were planning on that. And so I imagine that they're like, we need this because we need subscriptions.
I'm assuming that their budget has probably shot up and hopefully the episodes are a lot longer. That was my main complaint with Season 1, was that the episodes are very inconsistent in terms of length. So I'm hoping that 30-minute episodes to 40-minute or 45-minute episodes would be, I mean, if I'm going to be realistic, let me get an hour each episode. I don't want to be that picky, but let's keep it consistent. I want consistency on that. Hopefully they can offer that, and I'm assuming, like I'm saying that the budget has definitely gone up, dude, for them, and I think Disney is giving them more money for them to play with, so that way they can get some crazy more casting, some more ideas, and maybe set pieces and stuff like that they want to be able to tell a story that they want to tell. And I'm excited, man. I really can't wait, and I'm very happy with all the castings so far. It's just I just kind of wish that they didn't reveal characters, but I mean, maybe there's a strategy to it. We'll have to wait and see.
It might be just because they want to draw more people in, for sure.
That too. I mean, but they don't really have to do that. But
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So the last piece of Star Wars news, and that's going to be it for me, and then I'll toss it back to you, is kind of also a really big one. But it's not really a spoiler. I mean, it makes sense. I'm just excited for this. Hayden Christensen, the man himself, is reportedly in talks to reprise his role as Anakin Skywalker. And the scale of this role is still being debated. The reveal is planned to be made at Star Wars Celebration alongside Rosario Dawson's Ahsoka Tano announcement. I gotta say this. I think the perfect spot for him to come back wouldn't be as Anakin Skywalker, but it would be as a very early young Vader, with possibly a peek behind the mask moment during the Kenobi series. I mean, he could get close. I don't know. I would love it.
That would make more sense than to have him show up in like Mandalorian. You know what I mean? Like, which wouldn't make sense because
he died.
Mandalorian takes place 5 years after Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
And you know, the Obi-Wan series is
right after Revenge of the Sith, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, I think a few years after, but
pretty close. Yeah.
So that would make more sense to have him show up in there, and I think people would go fucking nuts, dude. And I'd be happy with that, man. I'm totally down with that.
Yeah, I loved Hayden as Anakin, specifically in 3. Number 2, he went a little creeper with the relationship stuff. He was a little bit hands-on, and he didn't like sand and all this other stuff. I think that part of that was the writing, but no, in episode 3, I thought he played Anakin so well. I really liked him in that, and I really think that he and a lot of the people who played in the prequels got a bad rap for their performances unnecessarily. And I think he handled the backlash pretty dang well. And I think by now people have kind of come around full circle on it and really, really love Hayden's performance. And I'm just so stoked to see more of Hayden. I think that that's going to be such a good time.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. And I figured that something was in the works because if you pay attention enough, like, you know, well, as much as, you know, we have to pay attention to this kind of stuff in terms of like, because we're running this podcast with like movies and actors and stuff like that. He's been coming out of the woodworks out of nowhere. Like he showed up to Disneyland one day, you know, and they showed up for the event of like the Star Wars stuff that they had there. And it's just like, okay. He's probably in the works and talking, you know, maybe getting back in the limelight of things and see, you know, how fat react or whatever. So like this is not like a surprise to me, but I'm excited still. You know what I mean? Yeah, I hopefully that's probably the best sense or the best way to do it is to introduce him into the Obi-Wan series, and you know, especially since Obi-Wan had that connection with him, that is his master, you know. So yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. But that's it for news on my end, man. I'm going to toss it back over to you to take us to the home stretch.
All right, let's go ahead and take it home here. We got a couple more here, and then we're going to go ahead and call it for today, guys. First one is a Nova project is reportedly in development at Marvel Studios.
Nova.
Which, are you familiar of Nova from the Nova Force?
The Nova. See, that's okay. No, I don't believe I am at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
Nova is the I don't even remember the planet where it's in Guardians of the Galaxy 1.
Oh, okay.
The God, it's the best way of explaining it.
It's not the golden people, is it? That's in 2, right?
No. That's in 2.
Okay.
Now in the first one, where
wait, they're called the Nova Corps. Like, isn't that what?
And then there's a actual like superhero that comes from them too.
Oh wow.
His name is just Nova.
Oh, okay.
And he's a representative of them, as far as I remember. You know what I mean? Like, as far as my knowledge goes, that far, in terms of the character. And also, he showed up in a lot of, or I believe he showed up in Marvel vs. Capcom 3 or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Video games. And that's how I know of him. And he's pretty powerful, to my knowledge, you know, from reading a little bit of history. And
he must not have been there when Thanos destroyed that planet then.
Yeah, so apparently there was gonna be a scene where he showed up in Endgame and he was gonna, pretty much fight Thanos there out of nowhere. But I think that the directors felt, Kevin Feige and the Russo brothers felt like it was too soon, and that wouldn't make enough sense for people.
Yeah.
Because some people still don't know who Nova is. Like,
yeah, it's like who is that?
So I just know where he's from and his powers and stuff like that. But that's it. That's as far as my knowledge goes. But apparently, there's a project is being developed, and I feel like this project has probably been in development for a while.
Yeah,
they're probably just waiting to see where they're going to put him in there, which should kind of make sense if they introduced them in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I think maybe if they made him appear on there, even if it's like for like an end credit scene.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. So,
of course, I'm still waiting for Adam Warlock to do something.
Yeah, Adam Warlock is apparently still out there, and we're not even aware.
I don't know what happened with that.
There hasn't been a casting for him either, or nothing. But Marvel's being super secretive about that. And from my knowledge, apparently that Adam Warlock he's not even going to show up in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Apparently, I don't know. But then again, they can change things around. They could probably fit him in there or whatever.
Yeah, who knows?
But yeah, that's it. A Nova project's apparently in the works, and hey, more Marvel stuff. I'm good. As long as you can set up a good next villain, I feel like that should probably be the go-to right now, because everything else is going to seem kind of not as threatening.
Oh, yeah.
Because we went from like the highest of high with Thanos, and now it's like, okay, where do we go from here? You know what I mean?
Like it's a little bit like back to basics, bitch. Let's do it.
Yeah. We got to have someone, as menacing and as threatening as Thanos was. So there's definitely potential for, multiple villains. I'm just going to go, Kang the Conqueror, just saying. But there's other ones out there that are pretty cool. Like this, just saying.
Yep.
But yeah, anyways, let's move on to the next bit of news here. Regal and AMC theaters are currently standing by their position on not screening any films from Universal Pictures in the future. They're still standing there. So they're boycotting any Universal films because of the movie Trolls World Tour. The way apparently people feel that Trolls was like that. I don't understand people's logic or why they feel so threatened by the movie Trolls. Like, I don't think people I guess weren't expecting to this movie to do as good as it did on demand. And that is affecting that's gonna affect the Regal, AMC, Cinemark, all these other movie theaters. But Cinemark hasn't. I think they're still doing their own thing. They're still going to show, but as far as Regal and AMC, they don't want to, and it's because of the success that Trolls did that now Universal and other movie studios are thinking that maybe we should start releasing some of our other movie projects, on demand as well.
It's so stupid. It's so stupid for them to do this. Like we talked about, I think the last time this came up. You're biting the hand that gives you what you need to survive as a theater. Don't do that. That's dumb. I understand you're like, hey, I didn't appreciate that. They have the right to.
Bitter, man. They're bitter at the fact that these movies made so much money, this movie made so much
one.
It's just a one, but it potentially could be more.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Future, depends on what movies they decide.
It's at this point they're almost guaranteeing it will be if they really stand by it.
But the movie theaters are not seeing it from their perspective. It's like, dude, they have to make their fucking money, man. And not only that, everybody's in quarantine. What can they do? It's it's not their fault. What can anybody do at this time? You know what I mean? They feel like, hey, let's put it out there so people can watch at home. That's just the way I see it. You know what I mean? These companies, Regal and AMC, are kind of being a little bitch. Let's be honest.
100%. They're throwing a tantrum and they're pouting.
Yeah, they're pouting. So Regal, I don't know what position they are in terms of financial stability or how they run their business or whatever. But AMC right now is hurting really bad.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know. I think this is a desperate attempt.
Guys, that depending on how long this pandemic goes and if they even want to open up theaters within the next upcoming months or not, and if they don't, then AMC's could potentially go bankrupt. And it's scary to think about because I love the movie going experience, and it's great, you know what I mean? But it's there. We had to acknowledge that it's a thing.
Yep.
It could be a thing.
Times change, man. Times change.
It's scary. Which goes into my next bit of news here that's related to VOD.
Okay.
2 big but very different films will be releasing on VOD this week, starting today with the movie Capone, which just released, I believe, a few hours ago.
Okay.
And then Warner Brothers' Scoob, which released May 15th, which should probably Friday, if I'm correct. Yeah, Friday.
Yep.
So yeah, I we'll see how these movies do in numbers. Apparently, Capone is getting pretty good reviews at the moment, for as far as I'm aware of.
That's what I'm going to check out. I'm going to. This is my first VOD purchase for sure. I
think we should definitely both line ourselves up to maybe do a review of this.
I'm down.
Yeah, so we'll definitely have to check out Capone for ourselves and do a review of it next week. And that'll be my first purchase, a VOD purchase too.
Same.
And I was actually thinking about checking out Scoob too, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Like, I think I'm gonna do Capone, see how it goes. I know it's like $20 each.
Yeah, and VOD. I think they're on Vudu, right?
Or something like that. Not too sure. They didn't really say here, but we'd have to look it up.
Because I believe Trolls was on Vudu. At least that was one of the ways that you could do it was through Vudu.
Yeah, that's probably it. So yeah, it's really cool. I mean, I'm happy with that. Like, that's like I'm telling you, they're testing the waters with some of these titles. You know what I mean? And Trolls was probably the perfect. And also I think they did Deadshot and all those other ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, they put those out there, but I think Deadshot was already out in theaters like maybe a week already before.
Or you mean Bloodshot? Bloodshot. You've always called it Deadshot, my guy.
Yeah. Bloodshot has been out. I think it was out a week before the pandemic started.
Right.
And
that one got like a bad standing. It was just unfortunate with timing.
Over really bad, man, and it sucks. But Trolls was officially like the first one that actually was like, okay, this movie was gonna be out in theaters, but now we're gonna release it on VOD, and so it did, and it did phenomenal in terms of numbers. Now we just have to wait and see how Capone does in terms of numbers within the end of the week. We'll probably get a total or something. So I hope it does great, man. I hope these movies do good. Because regardless, I don't want to say, I hope they don't do good because then it's gonna end our movie experience or anything like that. But like these, I don't know. I think they look like good films, personally. I mean, Scoob, kids movie, but I love Scooby Doo, and I think I would love to watch something like this with my son. You know what I mean? So I think it'd be really. So yeah, we'll definitely probably do a review of Capone because Tom Hardy as Capone looks pretty crazy, man. It looks like a good acted film.
Yeah.
So I have 2 more here, and then we're gonna call it a night, guys.
Okay.
HBO Max hopes to film the Friends reunion by the end of summer. However, they may develop the special as a virtual reunion if it is delayed for too long. I do not like that idea.
Ooh. Like, have the characters be on Skype with each other?
It'd be basically what they're doing with what they did with Parks and Recreations. Parks and Rec did a special with each other, but they did the whole webcam virtual social distancing stuff. And no, don't do that. Not with Friends. You cannot do it. You rather just fucking wait, dude.
Yeah.
Because people have been waiting for so long to get a reunion.
That's just going to tick people off.
And it's just going to piss people off if that's how you want to do it.
Yep.
And I get like Tiger King vibes when they do
that
things
extra
like
episode.
Extra episode. It's just like it just didn't work. You know what I mean? It's just it's gonna be very lame. You're gonna upset a lot of people. And yeah, I would say just hold off on it. Just delay it. I'm pretty sure people can wait another year if they have to, just as long as they can get the original cast together in the studio, and I think that's the best way to do it. Just wait. Just wait.
Yeah. I know. I don't think that's going to work at all if they do the virtual thing.
So I really hope that they don't, but if they do, like, good luck.
Yeah.
Because Friends fans they're going to be very pissed off, man.
Friends fans are some of the most passionate fans.
Dude. Yeah, the diehards, dude. Like, I like Friends, and I'm even saying here that don't do it. So hopefully they decide to just hold off on that one and not decide to do a virtual thing, because that'd be dumb.
Yep.
It just wouldn't be the same outcome as having the whole cast. But last bit of news here, which was announced May 8th, which was Friday.
Yep.
Of last week, San Diego Comic-Con has announced Comic-Con at Home coming this summer.
Ooh.
So, which is basically, from my experience, is that, like, it's probably going to be like panels that are going to be done just, online. And instead of canceling Comic-Con altogether and I have no announcements, kind of like with like E3 and all that, they're probably going to do like a whole different like Comic-Con virtual experience.
I wonder if it's going to be like Nintendo Direct, but for Comic-Con.
Yeah, I would assume so, right? Or they can have a panel where they can still do panels over Skype if they want. You know what I mean? Like Skype calls. And just have all the different actors to show up if they want to make an announcement and talk about it. Have a host, answer a few questions via Twitter, however they want to do it. As if they were to do it like in person when they go to these panels. Instead, now they can do it at the comfort of their own home. So at least kind of distract us from all this mess that we're still in, unfortunately, and hopefully
Comic-Con, E3, all those different game conferences, all the different like special announcements, big showcases. We don't really think about them a lot, but they're fun entertainment for those who watch it, and it's kind of sad whenever all that stuff is kind of gone. It's like sports; you get used to it being there, and then it's gone. You're like, oh, dang it. So it's the same way with these cons. I'm happy that they're deciding to move forward with some form of a Comic-Con. I think that's great.
Yeah. So I think it's cool that they didn't just altogether just cancel it. You know what I mean? And they decided that they're going to try something new for now until things get better. And, this is another way of distracting and keeping us, sane and not fucking go crazy.
Yeah.
At home or whatever. So like just getting us excited for all these, movie, comic book, just cartoon, all this other stuff like announced, and toys too. You know what I mean? They show off toys. So this is good. I'm happy about this. How do you feel about it overall? Do you think we're good?
Yep. I'm looking forward to seeing it from the comfort of my own home at this point. Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah, just more content to talk about on the podcast.
It'd be great.
Like, totally down with that. But anyways, guys, that's about it for news goes. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that episode. Thank you guys again for tuning into episode number 17. Once again, the last 2 or 3 episodes that we filmed, we just did audio only.
Yeah.
So if you guys would like to give that a listen, for those of you that are watching over on YouTube, go over to Spotify, go follow us, please, on there as well, just in case, because some people just choose to either just listen to it while they work out, or they just do other things as a distraction to have it as background noise. You can do that too.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. That's about it for today, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you guys would like to do us huge favor, hit a like, share the podcast on social medias, Facebook, Twitter,
tell
Instagram.
Your mom, tell your dad.
Exactly. Your aunts, uncles, everyone, please share and let them know that What's Poppin' podcast is it's popping, right?
Yeah. We're trying to anyway. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But on all honesty, guys, no jokes aside, I've really been enjoying doing this, and dude, we're up to 17 episodes already. Like, this is nuts, man. To think about that when we're first talking about it, for like a year now about doing it. Now we're finally here. 17 episodes.
Yep.
And can't wait to that 20, man. We're coming close. Coming close.
Coming up.
But once again, it was good to be talking with you, Tim.
Good talk to you too, buddy.
Knocked out another episode, and then also did the review to the Star Wars Clone Wars.
Yep.
So give that a listen as well, guys, or watch. And be sure to hit a like, share it. As always, I'm Jimmy.
I'm Tim.
We'll see you guys
next time.
So take it easy, guys.
Peace.